cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. It's time again.
What up, y'all? You tuned in to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is Music Monday, and I'm your host, Slash. And with me, I got Comedian 96, K Money, Freddie G. Together, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. On Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, welcome back to Music Monday. So in a previous show, we covered a situation where P. Diddy was fined, he ended up paying $30 million to settle for alleged lawsuit that was against him by his ex-girlfriend Cassie. Well, so since that particular time that we talked about that, this story seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. Yep. And there's so much stuff being said about it. A lot of people have a lot of stuff to say about it. I know a lot of people heard a lot of different stuff online, and I mean, it's just so many allegations. It's almost ridiculous to believe that he had anything to do with most of this stuff, It's just so much, and...
Well, in my opinion, not to cut you off, Slash, I just feel it's just a lot of talk right now. I mean, as far as valid, concrete proof, I don't think any of that has been exposed yet, because we know the FBI raided a couple of his homes last week.
True.
But never, I don't think they disclosed anything that was found that was incriminating on the charges that he's been, accused of.
At this time, they haven't exposed nothing, and he hasn't even said that he did any of it. He denying all of it, which is, of course, what he's supposed to do. It's just crazy that all of a sudden people saying all this stuff, this, that, and other, this, that, and other. We don't know what part of it is true. We just know what's being speculated. We haven't heard from Diddy himself. He hadn't said, well, yeah, I did this, and yeah, I'm going to do this, and I got this. We haven't heard none of that, So it's just strange that a lot of stuff has happened around this situation, though. And I just want to pinpoint some of the things that's been going on with Diddy. So he faced a string of lawsuits right now, since November last year. So I don't know if people, and I think Comedian 96, I think you mentioned this once before, is it the fact that people just out for the money because he paid her, and is he just... Or is he just the type of guy that just believe, hey, I'm above the law. I can do what I want to do.
Now, okay, so at first, remember I said before, I thought it was a money grab. Now it's getting a little bit more serious. This is before the FBI raids. I said that. It looks a little bit more serious than what it, because again, the media can make it bigger than, they'll make it a story bigger than what it is.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, not... he's out still doing his thing. I mean, ain't nothing's changed. So honestly, I'm a bit confused at this point.
Well, the confusing part to me is if the feds raid your place, the number one thing, they don't come unless they got a case on you already.
Yes.
So for them to step in and get involved, it kind of makes you say, uh-oh, wait a minute. And now he flee to somewhere else.
See, that's what makes him look guilty.
See, that's the bad part, but that's the same thing OJ did now. It made him look guilty.
Yeah, but
they didn't find him guilty.
But see, here's the thing: OJ was running from cops. I think Diddy's just running from the situation.
Right.
He wasn't gonna stay. I mean, who's actually gonna stay and wait for the police to come? You got to come find me. If I did something, you're gonna have to come. If I ever, you're gonna have to come find me. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that would be anybody's thought process.
Yeah. Well,
what I find peculiar, I do and I don't, is, you hear a lot of mention about Diddy and these parties. Now, you got to think how many people are at these parties,
Celebrities, right.
None of them are speaking out on his behalf saying, I can vouch that this type of shit don't go on. Not maybe because they don't want to get affiliated or get tied into it, but
there's no support for him right now.
Exactly.
Right?
Lack of, and
it makes you kind of believe, because my experience in the music industry has always been somebody's going to tell you how a situation goes. It's going to be that one real person that you meet in the industry that's going to say, hey, this should go like this should go like that, don't do this, don't do that. You're going to meet that one person. So none of those people have been his friends, obviously, or he haven't been friends to them, because nobody's saying, nah, Diddy ain't that type of dude.
And those celebs that I have heard talk about it have kind of danced around it.
Right.
They never said, these things aren't going on, but they're not saying that
what
they are
saying
going on.
Is
some strange shit going on.
Yeah, it's something strange, because they're saying stuff like, okay, I'm not going to say nothing, but if you ask me the question, I'll give you the honest truth.
There was a Vlad TV post. I just seen it this morning, right before, a couple hours ago, where Bootsy says if Diddy called me at 2 a.m., he would go to his. Some people are still rocking with him. I don't agree with you on that part, because I think Bootsy, it's a couple of people that are still, not very many, but there's a couple of people still rocking with Diddy.
Well, you got to think too, some of these other celebrities, I think, like, that's going at it in that form and fashion are the everyday social media celebrities. See, Boosie's online every day, all day. He doing stuff. So that only makes sense for him to rock with the culture.
The culture, yeah.
You know what I mean? So no disrespect to Diddy.
Yeah.
But I think Boosie just takes that form on to rock with the culture, whether it be because, remember, publicity, whether it's positive or negative, it's publicity.
That's right.
So Boosie knows that.
And we know Boosie. We know damn well.
And you know what type of person he is.
He ain't finna,
so
if it ain't women related, he ain't.
He generally don't care, but he just the one to stand up and say, you know what? Well, hell, I'm just gonna say, you know what, man, I'm not gonna talk down on Diddy. Y'all can talk down on Diddy.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean that the accusations that's against Diddy right now, Boosie don't believe or believe. It doesn't necessarily mean none of that.
Yeah,
he's doing it for a cultural purpose, and I guess for a in person to the social media, I guess something respectful towards that culture wise.
That would make sense. He rock with R. Kelly the same way.
I wouldn't rock with him if I don't believe what's going on, because some of this stuff that's being said, it's got truth to it. And in Forbes magazine, they listed several lawsuits and charges against, or let's say cases against Sean Combs. Do y'all remember back in 1990, 91, I think we mentioned this once before too, about Aaron Hall and Combs raping a girl?
Yeah, I remember mentioning that on the previous show.
Yeah, see, now that was back in the 90s. And there's so much other stuff he did just building up to that time, and it raises this one question to me, though, because I can recall that his ex, Kim Porter, was writing a book, and before she put that book out, she was found dead in her house. What was that book gonna say about him? But it raises that question, because wait a minute, this woman was killed because she was writing a book
about to expose him.
So is this part of?
Whoa,
you in way deep now, because if that murder charge comes up on you, and it comes out to that this stuff is true, and if the feds got a case on you and they putting two and two together from social media and all of this stuff, that opens up
another can of worms.
Yeah, I didn't even think, I forgot all about Kim Porter, but I do recall her writing a book.
Now, and I want to bring something to y'all's attention. We talking about Sean Puffy Combs, Diddy, P. Diddy, right? What was the name of his label?
Bad Boy.
If you see the list of charges and issues that he's been in the last 20 years, man, this man got a long list of crimes, investigations, and all kind of stuff going on around him. Like the guy, the fight in the club. He had a tussle in the club. Well, that was a shot. That was a gunfire shot. Yeah, Shine. But he also had a tussle in the club with J. Cole.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's a lot of information that's been going on, and charges pulled against him. It was one. What was it? I want to say somebody. Oh, supposedly. Do y'all remember when he supposed to had hit Drake in the face?
Yeah, slap Drake.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So Bad Boy, you doing bad boy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So think about it now. I mean, Bad Boy, he called himself this.
True.
That was his label.
That was his label. Yep.
What I find interesting, man, like, so the Drake, allegedly the Drake slap, allegedly the deal with what's the rapper you did? J. Cole. And the question one could have about Kim Porter, all of the bad boy, and I'm throwing finger quotes in the air, all of the bad boy stuff that Diddy has allegedly done. What I find interesting is the actual charges themselves that he's currently being charged with. If I'm not mistaken, one of them is the drug trafficking because of the alleged mule, with that was handling his drugs.
Right.
Now, another charge is sex trafficking. Now, when I think of the very first thing that comes to my head, and this is not me taking sides with Diddy or nothing like that, but I, just like I got questions too. But the very first thing that comes to my head when I think of drug trafficking is kilos of cocaine.
Right.
But I also noticed that guy that they showed, the white guy, they showed him holding pill bottles.
Yeah.
So, could you get a drug trafficking charge with a X amount of pills, and you're just traveling with these pills that are not prescribed to you or illegally prescribed?
Good question, and it's no telling. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know how it went. So again, this is just stuff people saying.
And
we don't know.
I listen to the celebrities too that speak, and I noticed that I don't hear women celebrities speak. Because think about, let's go to the parties. We all hear these infamous Diddy parties, right?
The freak off party.
Here's what I hear about the parties. All I hear is gay stuff going on at the parties.
And see, I haven't even heard that.
I hear
I heard that.
What
That's
it's
all
all
I hear.
about.
I hear a bunch of allegedly it was a bunch of gay things going on at the parties, right? Well, there's no crime in doing gay activities,
Right.
There's no crime there, and the gay stuff that I hear about the parties only come from men.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything, because you have to think women have to attend these parties.
True.
But see,
Now-
their issues with that was because during some of these parties, they forced to have sex with these men that he want to have sex with. So he was using the girls as
Bait.
bait.
Yeah, but here's my thing though. What I'm saying is
That's a criminal charge.
yeah, I agree.
But it's hard to prove that, though.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the stuff that I'm hearing about the parties, I'm only hearing men talk about the parties.
Now, these celebrities,
Yeah.
the men,
Yeah.
really?
I've heard a bunch of celebrities over the years.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of celebrities. Let me show you something. I actually heard back in the day when Foxhole Radio Sirius XM, Jamie Foxx had radio, and he would talk about some of the infamous Diddy parties.
Yeah.
You know, and other celebrities would talk about these infamous Diddy parties. I've heard, I think, what was his name? Columbus Short talk about Diddy parties. But I never hear any women who talk about Diddy parties. I'm not talking about women who allegedly was used to lure men for Diddy to have alleged sex with.
Yeah, because he probably paid them.
I'm talking about the women who attended these parties that was just there to have a good time. I haven't heard anything from those women.
Look at it like this. It could be, has any men came forward and said, man, Diddy got me?
Yeah, that was what the one guy.
The DJ.
One.
Producer.
Yeah, the
DJ.
One.
And allegedly, Cuba Gooding Jr. Was used to groom him.
Okay, one, right?
Wow.
So how long has Diddy been operating? Over 30 years, right?
Yes, for a long time, bro.
This is just my assumption. This is what I think, right? This is just my opinion. He's selective about who he touches. He only touches people that's like, man, I don't want nobody to know this happened. Not undercover, not by, but some straight gangster dudes, maybe not gangster, but just like some hood or gangster and gangster that don't want this to come out, and he put them in maybe bad situation or awkward situation. And then if you think about it, Meek Mill's allegedly, we hearing tapes allegedly, but he still hadn't came out and said he got me. You feel me?
Right.
I think those type of men is who he target. Because if only one came out over a 30-year period, I know it's way more than one. Come on.
Past week, there's been all kind of videos showing, you know, of past things that have occurred with Diddy. And there's one video where he's on, what's the oldest Wayne brother? Keenan. I think Keenan had a talk show way back when. I can't remember it, but he had Tyson on there and Diddy on there, and Diddy, they're sitting next to each other, and you see Tyson moving, saying, you know, he makes a comment, but he's moving because it looked like Diddy was trying to touch him on his ass or somewhere his hand was. Yeah. So I mean, that kind of contradicts what you're saying, you know, in regards to him being selective.
So, no. Think about it. It's people that have something to lose. Now that's probably, think about it, that's probably was his opening to see if that person, you know, that's that test, and they didn't pass. So I knew not to mess with this dude no more after this. But you feel me? Had he touch that leg, it would have went further after that. So that probably was the first test. You don't know.
But Tyson obviously made it look as if, you know, it was
he made it right there on. No, it ain't going down like that. Everybody didn't do that,
but
because
he wasn't rejecting.
He was holding Meek Mills. He didn't move.
So let me ask you this. I mean, because now these allegations are coming out about Diddy, and so any little thing that we see, we be like, "Oh, that's a sign. That was a sign."
Yeah.
Right. Do y'all actually think Diddy, Mike Tyson back then?
You ain't lying.
Do you actually think Diddy for Mike Tyson back then?
Mike Tyson?
Do I think he would
try to
even?
Hey. I mean, if he did, he was the dumbest Diddy I would know.
Look, he thought he was probably that was probably gonna be his trophy if I get this one.
No, because if Mike Tyson knocked the shit out of you,
exactly.
That's what was gonna happen in that situation.
That's exactly what was gonna happen.
That's why I say that'd be the dumbest shit the band could do.
Yeah,
I wouldn't understand him.
I mean, the video looked organic. It didn't look, you know, edited or anything like that.
Did you see the Lil Wayne one? Lil Wayne one.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Lil Wayne just put it
out
there.
Dumb Diddy shit.
The way Lil Wayne did it was so original, and I think it was done the best way because you saw the expression Diddy gave.
Yeah, Diddy was hot.
So for those that hadn't seen it, let me just explain it a little bit. So Diddy and Wayne are in a video, and Diddy is saying to Wayne, "Hey, you know, I tell the young people when they come in, you know, we got to do it like this. It's like being from another planet, da da da. So, but you being the man, you tell them what you think the game, you know, and what you get out of it, da da da." So Lil Wayne said, "Well, first you got to look at for the dingus that's Diddy bopping in your video.
Dancing in your video.
They want your ass.
Yep.
We call them astronauts. Now, Diddy was sitting right there while Lil Wayne was explaining this.
Facts.
In his face. I loved it.
So did you catch this? The next thing Diddy said was, "Oh, so you not cut out for the game or something?" Lil Wayne said, "Oh, something." Because I'm not doing this shit.
I'm not doing what you're trying to do. Boy, that was I was already a Lil Wayne fan. Now I just went up to 20,000.
Well, Lil Wayne is real, man.
Yeah.
I think that's what I saw from that.
Yeah, and I think these little nuggets have been given, far beyond what we're just now hearing. We just wasn't paying attention to it, and all of a sudden now it's gotten everybody's attention.
Now it's gotten,
and like Freddie G say, every little thing now really is going.
It goes
the suspect.
It. Yeah.
Well, maybe Dave Chappelle was the only one that seen it because he was making skits about him back in the day. You remember?
Yeah, he was. He was doing really good skits about Diddy.
Yeah.
Well, goddamn, I just said Keenan Wayne had a video of Tyson, so that's way back when.
I don't remember that one.
I'm saying the video that I was just referencing earlier.
Yeah, that video. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm saying nuggets were dropped back then, but people wasn't
paying attention.
Yeah,
Yep.
people wasn't really.
Just like people don't be paying attention when we do our podcast show.
Sometimes, like myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
You don't listen yourself. So, Diddy was not able to be in attendance at the Grammys.
For real? I didn't know that.
Yeah. January 12th this year was the Grammys. Diddy wasn't
there.
But
I thought all the stuff didn't come till after the Grammys. All the raids and all that just happened.
Man, when you doing stuff and it's okay. When the feds are coming, man, and you've been doing stuff, we just ain't hearing about it. But the smoke is there, man, and they coming. They coming. As soon as that girl started dropping, when she got her 30 million, you knew the domino effect was gonna come.
It was gonna happen then, yeah.
You know that the feds are gonna start looking into stuff, and it's just a matter of time. So you better get your ducks in a row. It's my understanding he sold his shares on Revoke TV.
Yeah. Yes, he did. He sold his shares on. Yes, he did.
Unnamed,
another black person.
Mm-hmm. Somebody unnamed. It.
It's another African American though, but they unnamed, undisclosed.
Part of me feel like that's probably a family member. So
it probably comes from a separate account of his.
That's what tripped me out. I said, why would they have to say? They could have just said undisclosed person. They said undisclosed African American. Yeah. Why you didn't have to add that? You could just say undisclosed person and left it there.
America is, man. They, any kind of way that they can categorize you in some form or fashion, they're gonna do it. It's just what it is. So these situations that Diddy is in, I think, are horrible situations. I think some of this stuff is horrible that they saying about him. Some of the things that he's done has been horrible. He's had a wonderful career for years and years and years. And I guess that what that makes me want to say is no matter how much money you make or how successful you become, if the inner person in you is fucked up, the money is going to make that even bigger, and it's going to make you a way more horrible person. Because if you notice, some of the most sickest crimes are by the billionaire people. They think the sickest.
They think they're above the law.
They're above the law.
I got a question though before you enclose this / do you think this is the fall of Bad Boy Enterprise?
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think it's going to ever have a chance to even grow back.
A rebound from this?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a rebound.
I think he will. I disagree. I think he wiggles his way out of this. It's going to take a while, maybe a couple years. I think because he got the money to wiggle his way out.
Wiggling your way out of it in the fall of Bad Boy is two different things. Like, you may get out of trouble or whatever the case may be, but that don't mean your company or your label will get back to status.
All he needs is one great artist. That's it.
Who's going to go sign with? Who's going to go sign after all of this allegations and court?
Like I just told y'all, it's people that's still rocking with him, celebrity wise.
Who?
So I know there's some backwards people out there that's still rocking with him.
Comedian 96 gonna put out a comedy album on Bad Boy Records.
No, not at all.
Lil Dicky.
That's a lie.
That's what's subject to happen. He's gonna go and do this comedy album on Bad Boy. You know,
Lil Dookie.
Lil Dookie.
It's gonna be Lil Dookie and Dumb Diddy Dumb. Y'all fuck with us next time. So that's all, y'all, for this edition of Music Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Come back tomorrow and check out True Tuesday with K Money. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast.